Give me it.
Wait. Yes.
Hey! Woo!
We're
Well, finally,
live.
we're live. This is what, like the second time we've been live, and
Look at us throwing up.
I know we've come such a long way.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
It is.
Welcome to. Are you ready to do it? Welcome to recently. Okay, where are you? What happened?
I was gonna do Black Pride, but okay. Hey,
No.
everyone. Happy
Happy
Thursday.
third Thursday.
This is third Thursday. We're gonna get everyone a second here, to sign on and get so we could get started. So
Join the
right now,
fun.
me and Larry and I are sitting down
Yep.
to go through our mindfulness practice that we'll be sharing in a few. So if you want to take a second to find that place and space on the floor, get yourself together. We'll give it a couple minutes to, let everybody, you know,
Center yourself. Become one.
yes,
Yeah. Everybody.
yes, love it, I love it.
Yeah, we want everybody to be as comfortable as they can. This is really about opening the heart, the mind, and the soul, and being mindful of all of those things. So, welcome. Come on in. Come on in.
Yes, while we get started, I'm just burning my sage to get rid of all
Oh, that was smart.
negativity.
Yes, burn
Right.
it away.
Woo, woo, yes. So yes, and this episode is part of recently.
Recently married.
I know I did it.
We finally did it together.
Recently married. So we're just doing a little different for this episode, this third Thursday with Black Pride. Just kind of a thoughtful Thursday, kind
Yeah.
of centering ourselves, just kind of clearing it. I feel like this season right now has been real different.
Yeah. And it's great for us because on Recently Married we do talk about all things sex, love, and relationships. But the one thing I think that it's important that we talk about, especially tonight, is mindfulness.
Yes.
Really about centering where you are, who you are in the moment, and breathing it out. Yeah.
Woo.
See, I needed that breath because I don't have a long day.
I had a long day too, right?
I know. Right?
Woo!
A long year, a long everything. And we're still in the middle of a pepperoni. It's not baked yet.
The pepperoni.
Somebody bake this pizza because I'm ready to get out there.
That need to be a T-shirt, okay? Pepperoni. We are still in the pepperoni. I can't wait for that T-shirt. I got the plug on T-shirts. We're gonna get a pepperoni T-shirt going.
I like it. I like it.
Coming soon. But
Yeah.
let's give it a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna get started here. Not to take up too much of everyone's time, but
Yes. And remember, as you walk, as you're coming in the space, take the time to get as comfortable as you can, whether you're sitting in your car, sitting at home watching us, wherever you may be. Try to be as comfortable as you possibly can. Again, welcome. This is our third Thursday. Thanks, Black Pride. And Ari and myself, we have a podcast called Recently Married. You can find us pretty much on anywhere you find podcasts. And this particular episode is live, which I'm so excited about. Normally we pre-record them, but we're doing something different this year.
we've definitely been doing something different.
Right. Right.
We're excited, but
I am
all
too.
right, Larry, let's get started.
Yes. So again, welcome to Recently Married. We like to open up the show with a quote. And this week, our quotes will be centered around mindfulness. And Ari, you can go ahead and give your quote.
Okay, so I have two.
Okay.
I'm always extra. But one is stop trying to calm the storm, calm yourself, and the storm will pass.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay.
Ooh, that was deep. Now the next one is mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it were different. Enjoying the pleasant without when holding on, when it changes, which it will, being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't.
Oh wow.
Right?
Those are deep.
Those were deep. And
Oh,
I have been really, when I read those quotes, I was like, oh yeah, this sticks with me right now. So I need to calm myself and the storm will pass. So
yeah. It don't rain always.
right over. But it's been raining over here, boy. Bad. So
Oh.
the storm will pass, and just blessed to be in this moment. Grateful to be here. So super
Yes, because when the storm passes, stuff will grow. I mean, that's when stuff be blooming.
really blooming. So I'm super excited about that. Larry, what's your quote?
Oh, my quote is wherever you are, there is peace.
Hmm.
Simple.
I
Simple
like
is the point. Because I
that.
think, even in like everyday craziness, if you just take a moment to just realize wherever you are, there is peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to add to it, wherever there are is peace, wherever I am is peace.
Ooh,
Yeah.
better. Okay. Look at you
Mhm.
doing your own quotes now and stuff.
Hey, I'm trying to be somebody, okay?
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. But yes, this episode we are going to be talking about mindfulness, and I'm super excited to bring on a special guest tonight that's also part of Black Pride RVA team. So it's super dope. But before we bring on our special guest, Larry, anything else we need to share with the audience out there?
Listen, I'm glad everybody is listening right now because this is the episode that probably will change your life because we no longer live in a world where we are always on the go. Like,
Yeah,
this is the perfect episode for us to really dive deep into what it means to just relax and chill. And it may feel like we did that for a whole year and now we're back at it, but this is the perfect time to really evaluate if you want to get back at it and was that working? Because listen, I don't think me going 100 miles an hour was working.
yeah.
So
Thanks, thanks, thanks.
yeah,
Really enjoying the moment and slowing down and really reflecting and like you said, peace and growth and self love and all those things that
yeah.
we may have been like ducking and diving, but now it's really like we can't duck and dive. We really got
Right. We can't. This is the perfect opportunity, if anything, to really evaluate some things. And like you said earlier, we have a great guest. He probably is one of the funniest people I know. He cracks me up all the time. But he definitely brings some peace. He has that aura that just calms you and soothes you. So I'm excited to present him and see how what he takes us through.
right. Now before we bring on our guests, just a few little reminders or save the dates. Black Pride RVA weekend is July 16th through the 18th. We are super excited to be able to do it in person this year. Social distancing, of course.
Yes. Bring your mask, hand sanitizer,
All
and
that.
keep 6 feet apart.
Absolutely. And if you don't have a mask, we'll supply you one. And if you need some hand sanitizer,
We'll supply you one.
okay. So we're super excited about Black Pride this year, this weekend, July the 16th, 17th, 18th. Save those dates. The 17th is our big day, which is Day of Purpose, which will have our Black Pride RVA Marketplace. We'll also have, entertainment. Even that evening, excuse me, we'll have a block party. So we're super excited about that. So anybody that wants to be a vendor,
Or even if you want to volunteer.
even if you want to volunteer, Larry, hit us up. All you got to do is hit us up at blackpriderva@gmail.com, and we'll definitely give you all the information and details via email as well. And if not, you can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook. So, yeah, we'll be putting more information out there, but just save those dates because we'll definitely be having Black Pride RVA weekend this year. So, we're so
Yes.
excited
I
about that.
am. Yep. I'm excited. I can't wait. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be full of surprises.
Full of surprises. So anybody that wants to be a vendor, I'm also gonna be a vendor there. Green Vibes RVA with the house plan, definitely gonna be there in the spot. So if you know anybody, just hit us up And if you want to volunteer, if you just want to help out, just be in that moment, be in that space with us, a celebration, definitely hit us up as well. We definitely will need volunteers as well. So super excited, but of course, we're going to be doing it safely. So
Yes.
no worries.
Safety first.
So absolutely. So okay, let's get started. So
yes, let's do it.
yes, oh my
Hey.
gosh. Boo boo, you on mute.
We need to put that on a t-shirt. Like
Listen, I want I want a virtual background on my Zoom calls that I could just throw up real quick that says you're on mute, because I feel like after a year and some change now, like March 17th was a year of this whole working from home thing for me. You would think I had it right by now, but we're all on a growth journey, right?
Training.
you know.
I'm not gonna like Zoom no more. Okay, I'm not gonna like Zoom no more after this. So like Zoom, who? I don't want to Zoom. I don't want to text. I don't want to FaceTime. I don't like. I want to see you in person now. At this point, I want to see your face, talk to you face to face. But in the meantime, yes,
and Zoom fatigue is so real. Like Ari, you and I both know this. Like Larry, I know you know this. Like sitting on meetings all day long, back to back to back to back to back to back, and people have the nerve to be telling you what to do in your own home. Okay, like it can become a lot. Like it can become a lot real quick.
And my meeting,
taxing.
It'll be right here too. My videos be right here because I'm gonna tell y'all don't want to see what's going on.
I might have a collared shirt on, but I promise you there are yoga shorts on the bottom always. Always.
I have pajamas on, so PJs. I'm relaxing. So
one time I was in a really big meeting and maintenance had to come in to fix something in my apartment, and I'm on a call. Like there's like 80 or 100 people on this call, and I jump up to get the dog because she starts going crazy without even thinking about the fact that I'm literally wearing pajama pants on the bottom with the collared shirt on top. Got called all the way out, and there were like 80 people in my work. Like it was so embarrassing. But yeah, such is life.
Yes.
Such is life. Yeah.
Anthony, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. So we're just gonna let you do your thing, introduce yourself, and
Yeah, so my name is Anthony Johnson. I, like Ari and Larry both said, am a member of Black Pride RVA, UGRCS, Giving Richmond Connections. But I am also at the beginning of a really awesome journey in becoming a certified yoga instructor. So I just started a 200-hour yoga teacher training through an incredible group, and Mahavir Yoga, shout out to Jay Miles. So, I mean, I think I'm about in month 2 of our 6-month training, and I'm probably, I would say, eight years into my mindfulness journey at this point. Mindfulness, wow, like what is mindfulness? Ari, you gave a great description of what mindfulness is in the beginning, and could you actually read that for me one more time? I just want to hear it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mindfulness is simply being aware of what is happening right now without wishing it were different. Enjoying the pleasant without holding on when it changes, which it will. Being with the unpleasant without fearing it will always be this way, which it won't. Right?
Like what a message. I love that, When you think about mindfulness, for me, when I think about mindfulness as an escape, right? As a safe place, a sacred place. Like nobody can shake me in this place. Like nobody can find me or reach me in this place. To be able to sit with what's not going well, with what's painful in life, and knowing that this is not how it will always be. Like that means to be absent of suffering, right? So what an incredible goal. What an incredible goal. Like what an incredible place to reach. And if I think about the past year that we've all lived through, this pandemic, a social awakening of epic proportion, like people really taking heed in state-sanctioned violence against the bodies of Black and brown people in this country. Like the conversation is everywhere now. I don't think you can go anywhere without this conversation at the forefront. But while there's conversation, there's also a really real lived experience happening in every single one of us as Black people. And then, put in the intersecting identity of being both Black and queer, and then your compound struggles start to stack up real quick. And I think everybody, listening to us speak probably can identify or relate or know somebody that they love deeply who can identify with what I just said. So, you know, in this age of constantly watching state-sanctioned attacks on Black bodies, mindfulness practices, be it simply taking a moment to take a deep breath before turning the TV on, before walking outside, before responding to that troll on Instagram talking about all lives matter, you know, like simply taking that deep breath and checking, where are you right now, right? I'm okay, right? In this moment in time, all my needs are met. I'm safe. I'm worthy. I'm deserving of not being treated or subjected to this, you know. That in and of itself is an escape that, you know, I have found to be incredibly beneficial in my lifetime. So like I said, I'm 8 years into this mindfulness journey, and this is not the first yoga teacher training that I am embarking on. I started one probably 6 or 7 years ago that I didn't actually finish. I was at a very different time in my life. A lot was going on, but I got really into yoga very early on. And for me, you know, when you think about yoga, what is yoga, right? You know, I'm in teacher training, so I got note cards, excuse me.
Okay. It's okay.
Yoga. So to yoke or to make one, the intended yoking is that of the mind and the divine, right? So a self-transcendent quality, creating a pure state of consciousness in which the awareness of the I disappears into a sense of divine essence, right? So that force, that life force, that energy that's inside of each of us, right? Call it what you will. But yoga, the whole point of yoga is the physical practice of yoga is to prepare the body to be still, to breathe. You know, breath guides that entire practice, and to get you ready to meditate, you know, to be mindful. And for me right now, I'm speaking off of my own experience. I cannot even assert to be an authority of yoga. I can't assert to be a mindfulness like expert. Like I said, I'm a month into this. But I found the practice, my mindfulness practice at least, to be incredibly beneficial in my life. When I found myself in those moments, those deep moments where I feel like the world is crashing down on top of me, and my anxiety starts to really kick in, you know, knowing that I can find a comfortable seat wherever I'm at. I can raise up tall. On an inhale, I can bring my shoulders up. On an exhale, I can drop them down and allow the shoulders to drop down the middle of my back. I can let the chest open and I can breathe, right? When we think about breath, I want you to focus on a 4-count breath. All right. So when you inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause for a second, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And continue breathing at your own pace, but checking in with that 4-count breath. And if you're watching at home, I'm not going to lead you through a full yoga practice because I'm not a certified yoga instructor yet, but I'm on the way. Okay. But we're going to just do a little bit of breathing, and maybe a little bit of stretching, but we're not going to call it yoga because I'm not a yoga teacher yet. Okay. So come to a comfortable seat if you're not already in one, and I want you to find your 4-count breath. Maybe you've closed your eyes. Maybe on an inhale, you've allowed your shoulders to go up. On an exhale, you drop them back behind you, drawing the shoulder blades closer together, really feeling an opening in the chest. And just breathe. Breathe here. Notice this feeling. What thoughts are coming up? What sensations do you feel in your body?
Relax.
What are you experiencing? Yeah. Yeah. Ari, yeah, go on, Ari. Tell me more. What are you feeling?
I just feel relaxed, just grateful to be in this moment right now. It feels really good to take this time to breathe.
Yeah. Larry, how are you feeling?
Peace, harmony, quiet.
Yeah.
It feels good to be still in my body.
Yeah. How often throughout the day do you actually even focus on the breath? Like how often throughout your day, through your day to day, do you stop and think like, am I breathing?
Not at all.
You know, there are times in the workday when, when I'm in stressful situations where I realize that like I'm getting ready to respond to something. Like I'm literally starting to go into like this, like, it's essentially, fight, flight, or freeze response, when I'm being presented with stressful information, or even when I'm in life, having maybe a heated conversation with my partner. This is the recently married conversation. In relationships, we got to communicate. And sometimes that communication creates a vulnerable experience. And we feel like we got to hype ourselves up to go have that conversation to make sure our needs get met, What would it feel like to pause before you go in hyped up and find that breath, right? To acknowledge what is it that you're feeling? What is it that you need? And how are you going to get it? And is what you're about to do going to accomplish those things? So again, a mindfulness practice really allows us to center ourselves, to find our breath, and to allow that breath to guide us. The breath is the life force. All of us need it. Every sip of air is a sip of life that we're literally letting into our bodies, that sustains us through every stressful situation, through every joyful situation, through every experience that you could possibly have. So it would make perfect sense that that breath could also sustain you and be your sacred space when the world around you is crumbling, when, a pandemic is happening. And, for me, I told you, I left my mindfulness practice. I let it drop for a little while, and then life found me. Life found me a couple of times. And the first time was in 2015 when my dad died. I was broken. I was just completely broken. And I hadn't practiced yoga in probably like a year. I hadn't really been intentional about breathing and mindfulness practices in like a year before that, I would say. And I just remember being in the thick of grief and losing it. I'm on the ground in my apartment. I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm yelling. And the next thing you know, like my body found its way from a screaming, pleading for help mode to child's pose.
I love child's pose.
Right? So then we start to talk about this physical practice that we can submit to find that mindful space, right? And as I found myself in child's pose, I realized I'm in a yoga pose right now. Yoga is all about breathing. Breathe, Anthony. You're not breathing. and it was like the most overwhelming sense of calm came over me in a moment that I didn't think I was going to survive, right? And it was in that moment that I knew that I was going to be attached to my mindfulness practice for the rest of my life. Like, I couldn't escape it. And then fast forward 2020, y'all. 2020 tried to take us all. 2020 tried to take us all. Tried to take us all.
Yeah, it did.
And, talk about it, The first week of March, a good friend of mine was killed in a car accident. And that was how I started my March. And then, like many people, life was happening before the pandemic threw up in our face. So then I get into this work from home space, shelter in place, quarantine, living alone, single. I hadn't officially held down quarantine bay yet. We're not holding anybody down. Everybody's free to experience life as they will. No possessive qualities over here. Non-attachment, as we would call it in the yogic practice. But I found myself in shelter in place at home and dealing with the grief that I was going through and the grief that I'd been through, and just I was slowing down, Larry, to your point, for the first time. And when I slowed down, my demons were ever so present right in front of my face. Right. And I got to this place where I resorted to my mindfulness practice. I remembered my practice finding me in child's pose after the death of my father. And it was just like instinct. I pulled out my yoga mat, dusted it off, threw it down on the ground, and just started stretching and breathing. And again, all of a sudden, even though the world around me was crumbling, everything was going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know, I could separate myself from what was happening and know that in that moment in time, as long as I was breathing, I was making it. And isn't that a quality of Black people everywhere? Like the most resilient quality of Black people is the ability to breathe and keep going, right? But when we think about a mindfulness practice, how do we get to a space where mindfulness is not a tool to cope and be resilient, but a tool to thrive, right?
Like that.
And I truly believe that implementing a solid mindfulness practice in your life will take you from this space of just surviving the shit that life will throw at you to this place of oh no, I got this. Hold please, somebody hold my drink. I got this. You know, like that's where we're trying to get to. Okay, Beyonce style. You know, hive stand for life.
Right.
So that's my talk on mindfulness practice. But what does it actually look like for me? So we did a little bit of a breathing exercise to find that calmness,
Yes.
to find that peaceful space that exists in every single one of us. Do y'all have any questions? Like,
well, I wanted to say thank you for sharing. You know, your stories there, and you know what you've been through, and you know, definitely sorry for your losses. But you know, just
thank you.
the fact that you can just go back to that mindfulness and take those moments and know that you know everything will be okay by just taking that time for yourself and enjoying that space. So I
Yeah,
appreciate you sharing that with us. So thank you.
absolutely.
I echo the sentiment, and I just want to say it's great that we have this space, such as Black Pride, where we can let our stories be told. Um, we may not know how we impact others, so I think it's important if you're listening or if you're watching to really appreciate the story that you may have to share with someone else. To appreciate the fact that you have breath. I think those are all important things that we still need to be thankful for. You caught me off guard when you asked how many times do I think about breathing, and I'm like, I don't. I'm breathing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Do you know how stressful it is to navigate white America every day? Like how many times your breath gets taken away thinking, oh shit, they're going to catch, like, you know, imposter syndrome kicks in. Oh shit, they're going to catch me slipping. You know, am I breathing right now? Because I got to put that face back on, you know, like,
Right.
and we all know everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't have to get into that conversation, but like, are you breathing in those moments?
and I didn't think of how important that would be. And now in this moment, I'm like, dang, I'm definitely going to take this practice moving forward. Because even if you're watching at home, or even if you're listening, just the fact that you've probably taken a moment to breathe is probably going to change your evening. And I think that's powerful in itself. So,
Yeah.
thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, you know, when I think about yoga, for me, it is more than just a physical practice, but I'm gonna save that conversation because I'm only in month one. Maybe y'all will have me back sometime. I would love to come back and talk to you about what I'm learning along the way.
I told you, I'm gonna hit you up so we could do this with Green Vibes RBA. So we're gonna do
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So I would love to come back and share what I'm learning along the way. So I would love to share a little bit, just a little bit of what I've learned so far as from the physical practice side. And again, you know, I don't know how this whole Yoga Alliance certification thing works. So for all intents and purposes, I am not teaching you yoga right now because I am not certified. We are just doing a little moving, a little stretching, a little breathing. Okay.
Right.
We good?
That's
Absolutely.
right.
We good?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. And again, I'm learning, so bear with me. All right. So find your comfortable seat again. Somewhere where you can really root into the sit bones and where you can have a nice long back, long spine. You can find length in the neck. I'm not going to say like you have to have a straight neck. You're not a board. You know, you got curves, your whole body. There are natural curves in your spine and in the back of your neck. Can you gently create length as you breathe, and as you exhale, maybe settle into those spaces? So throughout this couple of series of movements, and I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it super simple. So finding that breath, tuning into that breath. I want you to hold on to a mantra in your head. For me, maybe it's I am worthy. Maybe it's I am deserving. Maybe it's I am victorious. I'm loving. I matter. Pick what resonates with you. And throughout this practice, as you find your breath, I want you to repeat that mantra in your head as many times as you can, whenever it feels right, whenever you need it, call on it. It's there. Okay. So with a comfortable seat, maybe your eyes are closed. On an inhale, I want you to raise your shoulders to your ears. And as you exhale, allow them to fall down your back. Again, shoulders drawing closer, chest opening. As you exhale, just finding length. Again, reaching from the crown of the head to the sky, creating length in the neck, length in the back. Really also stay rooted into those sit bones. So maybe pushing down on the tops of your thighs as you lengthen through the back of the neck and through the crown of the head. Feeling yourself pushing down and reaching up all at the same time. Again, finding your breath. Inhale your arms to the sky. And on an exhale, let your right arm fall right behind you, right in the middle of your back as it meets the floor to support you as if it's a kickstand holding you up. Inhale again, reach tall. And on your exhale, drop your left hand to the top of the right knee, maybe to the outside of the right knee if it's available, or just push down onto the top of your knee and allow yourself to really feel rooted into the ground. Okay. On an inhale, find that length that we found at the beginning of this practice again. And on an exhale, I want you to twist ever so slightly to the right-hand side. So on your inhale, you find length, and on your exhale, you twist. And come back to your breath here. Inhale your arms up above your head and come back to center. And exhale your left hand behind you, finding that balance again, like it's a kickstand. Inhale, reach tall through that right hand. Gaze forward still, crown of the head reaching toward the sky. On an exhale, allow that right hand to drop over the left knee. Again, at your own breath's pace, on your inhales, find length. And on your exhales, twist ever so gently to the left-hand side. Finding that 4-count breath. On an inhale, reach the right arm back to the sky. Pull your left hand up and raise it to meet your right. Exhale here. And on your inhale, reach your arms forward again. Reach your arms up keep your arms reaching toward the sky, rather. And then on an exhale, drop your hands to your sides. Now, maybe your hands come to meet at the center of your chest. Inhale your thumb knuckles to your forehead. And what we're going to do here as we inhale, I want you to arch your back and start to tilt the head back just ever so gently. And on an exhale, round over the front, bring the elbows maybe to the belly, to the bottom of the rib cage, and begin to just fold forward. And on an inhale, rise back up, round in the back. And on an exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And on an exhale, fold. And just do a couple of these movements at your own pace on that inhale, rising up, bending just slightly in the back. At the crown of your head is still reaching toward the sky and tilting gently back. And on your exhale, you're rounding through the back and folding in a little bit here. On an inhale, drop your hands down to your sides and come back to a tall seated position. How y'all feel? Check it in.
I feel great.
You feel great? Can
I
you do
feel
just a little bit more?
serene.
What'd you say, Larry?
I said I feel serene.
Serene. Can we do just a little bit more? And we're gonna stand up now, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to find, there's no sexy, elegant, cute way to do this, or at least I haven't learned how to teach it yet. But I just want you to come on your mat or wherever you are and just find your way to your hands and knees, okay? And that breathing motion we just did, it's called cat-cow in yoga, okay? So on the inhale, you're rising up, you're dropping your back and your butt starts to tilt toward the sky. And on the exhale, you're rounding like a cat, pushing away from you. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, you got it. And just do that just 2 or 3 more times at your own pace, following that 4-count breath. And on your next inhale, just come to a neutral back. So we're not rounded, we're not pushing away from the earth, we're just at a neutral tabletop position. Your hands placed firmly on the ground, wrists stacked over your shoulder, elbows stacked over your shoulders. Okay. I want you to push back through the hips and come down to child's pose. And do 2 rounds of your 4-count breath here. So inhale, exhale. Do an extra round just because it feels good. All right, and then, what'd you say, Ari?
Just child's pose is my favorite position.
Isn't it? And so sometimes you can, if your knees are like hips width distance apart, sometimes you can take them a little bit wider on the mat here and then do a wide-legged child's pose. So your feet are going to come together at the bottom of your mat, tops of the feet pressing down in the mat. Your legs are wider, you're going to push back, if it's available, of course. And you do a wide-legged child's pose and you really start to feel that hip opener.
Let me try that one.
My foot is cramping, so I can't go down like that. Yeah.
Ooh, that's so good.
All right, so from child's pose, got 2 more things I want to do, okay? I want you to come to the tops of your feet. So the tops of your feet are now pressing into the mat. And on an inhale, I want you to look forward. Make sure that your hands are planted firmly on the ground, shoulder width distance apart. And on an exhale, I want you to just gently begin to rise up from the back, pushing the feet away at the back, guiding your hips to the sky to create an upside down V. You're in downward facing dog. Or whatever the not yoga version of downward facing dog is, because I'm not teaching yoga right now, remember. All right, 2 more breaths here. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And on your next inhale, begin to just gently walk your way to the top of your mat. But don't rise up, okay? You're going to stay folded over. Maybe you adjust yourself to safely stay folded over here. And so on your next inhale, I just want you to, I'm so close to this plant. On your next inhale, I just want you to begin to straighten the back so that way your chest and your torso are almost parallel to the ground. And the crown of your head is pulling forward. Your gaze is just looking straight down here. Flat back, or maybe you are pushing into the shins if you can't push from the floor. Maybe you're pushing from your shins to create this straight back, or this flat back, okay? On your next exhale, fold down one more time. And then as you inhale, I want you to slowly begin to round in the back and stand tall. Feet firmly planted into the ground. The head is the last thing to come up. You roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, one at a time. And here we have found our way to mountain pose, a really great grounding pose. So if you're ever in a stressful situation, you can't see me. If you're ever in a super stressful situation, sometimes it's really cool to come into mountain pose, feet firmly planted into the ground, hands open at your sides, and just breathe here, right? People try to sleep on mountain pose. There's so much energy in this pose. Yeah, and that's what I know so far. So there's that. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat again. And we did that. That was the first time I've ever taught anybody anything that I've learned so far. So y'all got to do that with me for the first time. And I got to do that live.
That was good.
I don't know how many people saw this, but we risked it all there. What the hell? You got to jump in sometimes. So y'all are my first practice students.
Anthony, thank you
thank you so much.
So much. I really enjoyed it. I definitely feel centered now. I definitely feel more relaxed. And I feel like I am going to carry this on throughout my day now as far as work day. Just to have those moments to take a deep breath before the next Zoom meeting, deep breath before the next call. So I'm definitely going to try to add this practice into my everyday routine. So
yes. Well, I cannot wait to learn more. John, how you feeling?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Good.
Good.
Well, I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to show y'all what I learn. And I'm really just excited to be on this journey. So thank you for letting me talk about it for however long I've been talking.
Well, thanks for agreeing to do it,
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Namaste, y'all.
Namaste. All right. So me and Larry just going to kick it off here. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow. How you feel?
I feel great.
Me
like,
too.
I'm gonna do it all night.
I'm gonna be breathing. I'm gonna have a nice glass of wine and just be
centered, huh? You're gonna take it.
I'm gonna be real centered.
Yes, Anthony's. Oh my God, he shared a best practice, especially right now. I'm really definitely going to use this because I definitely needed him last week, but I'm glad he was here today to share it with us, and hopefully he can come back and share more and more and more. And then I can't wait until we could do this in person, and Anthony, we could do it in grass outside in some park somewhere. Oh my God, that's gonna be super exciting. Yeah. So I'm super excited about his journey. He's going to be amazing at it. So
he is, and I think it's great because it doesn't take a lot to breathe. I think that's the amazing thing. Excuse me, that I learned is even if you're having a crazy day, you can take a minute to breathe, and it may change, your outlook on the day. So that was awesome. It's something that doesn't require a whole bunch of nothing, just breath.
That's it. We do this every day.
Right.
Think about it, right? We don't even think about it. We do this every day. This is in order for us to get up. We need to breathe.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just those small things we don't even think about, but the fact that we had to take that moment to think about breathing and really just it felt great, right? It just really felt great to just take the time out to do that. Larry, any last minute thoughts?
I just want to say, as a last minute thought, as the last word, because that's what we do on the podcast. We always like to give the last word.
But go ahead.
Be in peace.
Ooh, be at peace. I like
be
that.
At peace.
Mine is a little different.
Yeah.
Relationship status. Our relationship status, right, is committed to inner peace, growth, self-love, and gratitude.
Okay. Those are good things.
Right? That's our relationship status, Larry. So me and your relationship status right now. To inner peace, growth, self-love, and gratitude. And we're sending that also to everyone that out there watching us today. Thank you for joining us for Third Thursday. We'll definitely see you next month as well. And Black Pride RVA weekend in July. Don't forget to save the dates, July 16th, 17th, and 18th. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you again. And don't forget, we'll see you during Black Pride.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Be in peace.
Be at peace.